With Midnight approaching, Demonology is seeing some of the biggest pruning and reworks we've seen yet. So today I'm here to talk to you about what's changing for our Master Summoner as we move from the War Within to Midnight. Starting with our Spec talent tree, one of the most notable changes to Demonology is the rework of Implosion, which is our iconic ability of sacrificing imps for a burst of AoE damage. The node now offers a choice between Implosion or Power Siphon. Implosion only sacrifices a maximum of 6 imps and is now on a 30-second cooldown. Our imps are still uncapped, however, the interaction they have with our main offensive CD, Demonic Tyrant, has changed completely. In the War Within, the duration of all of our summoned demons could be extended by Demonic Tyrant. This included Imps, Vilefiends, Dreadstalkers, and Grimoire Felguard, which is now gone. In Midnight, only our Dreadstalkers can be extended by Demonic Tyrant through Reign of Tyranny, and our Tyrant now gains power based on how many Imps and Dreadstalkers we have active during that window. To add even more power to our Tyrant, we now have 3 Apex talents that will summon demons and refund soul shards once our Tyrant is active. Antoran Armaments has also been reworked, now granting our Tyrant melee cleave attacks and additional armor. So TLDR, we only extend our Dreadstalkers with Demonic Tyrant, we gain power through our Imp and Dreadstalker count while our Tyrant is active, and our Imps as well as our Vilefiend will continue to despawn during our Tyrant window. Moving on to the changes to our primary demons, Summon Vilefiend is no longer an active spell. Instead, it's been folded into Dreadstalkers, so every time you call in your Dreadstalkers, your Vilefiend will automatically be summoned as well. Our Dreadstalkers have also received an upgrade with the rework of Demonic Calling. Putting both points into this talent now makes them an instant cast spell without costing any soul shards, giving players more agency. Speaking of agency, let's talk about our Doomguard. In the War Within, our Demon Bolts would apply a dot called Doom to the target, which is here to stay. However, instead of the constant gamble of proccing a Doomguard when Doom expired, the Capstone node has been reworked to summon a powerful Doomguard with an AoE volley at will, and is now on a 2-minute cooldown. In addition to gaining more agency over our demons, Imp Gang Boss has been reworked to always buff one of your wild imps, instead of the RNG involved in the War Within. Now that we've covered our core gameplay talents, some other notable mentions include the new Capstone node to Hell and Back, which refunds an imp for every 2 you sacrifice through either Implosion or Power Siphon. Imps that have been refunded will have their damage mega buffed and do AoE damage to a maximum of 5 targets. We also have the addition of some new passive nodes that will increase our damage, such as Infernal Rapidity, Hellbent Commander, and Blighted Maw. Moving into utility, both the class and spec talent trees are receiving a number of powerful upgrades, giving our toolkit far more depth and flexibility. Altogether, these changes make Demonology a real force to be reckoned with across every type of content. Within the specialization tree, we now gain a new choice node between Grimoire Implord and Fel Ravager. This addition allows Demonology to incorporate either a reliable magic dispel or an on-demand interrupt, while still retaining the Felguard and its signature axe toss. Not only do these demons provide additional damage, but they also grant multiple uses of either Singe Magic or Spell Lock before they expire. In addition, the new Capstone talent, Stabilized Portals, further extends the duration of these 2 demons, as well as your Vilefiend. Moving over to our class talent tree, curses have received a significant overhaul. In the War Within, putting 1 point into Curses of Enfeeblement would give us both spells. In Midnight, the nodes have been split, with Curse of Weakness remaining as a baseline spell. Amplify Curse has been removed, and in its place is Foul Mouth, which grants the ability to curse all targets in a 10-yard radius. The most notable change to our curses is the new Capstone choice nodes, Blight of Weakness and Blight of Tongues, which will mega buff either curse also in a 10-yard radius and has a 2-minute cooldown. In terms of defensives and self-sustain, interactions with Drain Life have seen some significant changes. For starters, our new talent nodes Gorefiend's Avarice and Empowered Drain Life adds a significant boost to our self-sustain, granting faster channel speeds, increased healing, and bigger shields with its interaction with Soul Leech and Soul Burn. Health Funnel has been removed, and in its place is Infernal Beneficiary, which will passively heal your Felguard while channeling Drain Life. Mortal Coil has also received a buff by having its range and healing increased. Next up is our hero talent section. Starting with Diabolus, we now gain Diabolic Oculi, which will deal additional damage and grant a slight buff to our intellect. Soul Harvester grants the addition of Manifested Avarice, which will spawn a demon by consuming soul shards, with connecting nodes that will buff that demon as well as our mastery. Both hero talent tree additions are largely passive and won't significantly alter your core gameplay loop, so they're easy to integrate into existing builds. Before we wrap up the talent section, I want to quickly highlight a few notable spells and talents we've lost going into Midnight. We're saying goodbye to Demonic Strength, Bile Scourge Bombers, Immutable Hatred, Soul Strike, Fell Sunder, Pact of the Imp Mother, and the Expendables. Some of these were niche, and others played a real role in our burst and pet interactions, but either way, they're no longer part of the kit moving forward. If you've been finding the video helpful, feel free to leave a like and support the channel by subscribing to see more demonology guides, updates, and gameplay videos as they release. And if you want an even deeper breakdown, there will be a link in the description covering everything we've lost and gained going into Midnight. At its core, Demonology's gameplay loop in Midnight remains largely familiar. We're still building soul shards primarily through Shadow Bolt and Demon Bolt, and spending them with Hand of Gul'dan. With the rework to Demonic Calling and Dreadstalkers no longer costing soul shards, this builder-spender loop becomes even more central to how the spec plays. Hand of Gul'dan now sits at the center of our rotation, and most of our choices revolve around how and when we invest shards into it. Where the playstyle really shifts is in what we're tracking and why. Instead of managing and extending our demons through Demonic Tyrant, the emphasis is now on pooling soul shards and demonic cores to maximize the value out of our Hand of Gul'dan casts, mainly going into our Tyrant window. Skill expression has moved away from long scripted setups, massive end of window implosions, and now toward timing. And what I mean by that is knowing when to summon our Tyrant, when to pool resources, and when to commit into that window. Our new talent options also give us much more flexibility between burst-focused builds and consistent damage profiles, depending on the content you're doing. But despite the streamlining, the gameplay in Class Fantasy is still very much alive. You're still commanding an army of demons, you're just doing it with fewer layers of friction. Overall, I feel these changes were necessary with the removal of add-ons and overall health of the game. I believe Demo is far more approachable than it used to be without losing its identity. The spec genuinely still feels fun to play, the gameplay is just tighter, the choices feel meaningful, and I'm honestly excited to see how viable the spec becomes in Mythic Plus with all the new tools we've gained going into Midnight. I do have a Demonology guide coming soon that will release between the start of the expansion and the launch of the first season, which will cover builds, rotation, and gear. Thanks again for all the continued support, and I'm really looking forward to bringing you guys more Demonology coverage as Midnight continues. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.